morning, all. Here. I'm a little early. My mics are working this time, so get it up here. I just washed my hair and it's fluffy. I didn't straighten it. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and get on here. It's not letting me do it, so let me. See if I can. Okay, testing. Okay, testing. I have sound. Prior, because I'm still early, I'm going to make a cup of tea here for a second. But I did find out from a fellow YouTuber that I follow that the other day when I had 9 minutes of no sound and I thought it was my new mics, and then all of a sudden worked. There was also a glitch on YouTube that day or with some recent lives where the sound wasn't working, and I had to keep getting out and getting back in, and that's what he did, and his finally worked. So if you're watching this a few minutes early, I'm going to go finish my cup of tea and I'll be right back. In a bit. I have to see what happened to the clip. Oh, the clip on these mics. Oh, here they are. Hello. Made myself a cup of tea. Gotta quit looking down at this and look at this. I know. snow boots off. It snowed. Hey, John. We actually got snow. I had to wear boots down to the barn to feed the cat. How are you? Can you hear me okay? Nice. Yeah, when you said that the other day, I'm pretty sure that glitch of YouTube, I had 9 minutes of no sound. So the little clip fell off my microphone. So I'm just holding it. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here a little bit today and do a live. I like doing the lives. It's kind of like I just sort of ad lib and I don't have to think of a topic, you know. So let me move the camera there. Better. That light on. I ordered that ring light. It came Christmas and the whole base of it was broke. So they sent me a return. They sent me another one, but I had to prove that one was in the mail. So I already had to send it back. So hopefully we'll get it tomorrow, my new ring light. The whole part that mounted to the phone, or to the tripod, was broken. So. Anyways, are you working today? Oh, sweet. Well, good luck with that. We got started snowing at 9 o'clock last night. I was on your live and it got super windy. And so I'm Wi-Fi assist for any of my signal, any of my cell phone or anything. The phone dropped all the signal and I was on my phone on your live. But then it got like 45-mile-an-hour winds and started snowing by 9. And kind of snowed lightly all night. We have about 4 inches out there, which is okay, but it's 11 degrees out there right now. Super clear. We're waiting on the next wave. So, anyways, but you be safe out there. I'm just happy to have snow on the ground. We did not have a white Christmas for the second time the whole 22 years we've lived in this town. And my husband's third generation. There's been only a few he can remember. So, yeah, anyways, we got snow. We're going to have more. We should have a white New Year's Eve. And if you believe the long range, probably all that week of New Year's, that we're heading into. But yeah, but it doesn't start till New Year's Eve afternoon. So Wednesday. So anyways, but thanks for checking in. I bumped this up a little bit. I originally put it for 10 and I'm just ready now. So anyways, I'm going to sit here and hopefully some more join. The last one I had like 162 or something. Couldn't keep up with the comments. But yeah, it's fun. But anyways, I'll try to catch yours too if I can get on there. I might have a showing later, so I'm only going to run this for 30. That's one of the reasons I moved it up. I want to vacuum and dust real quick. So, and then, yeah. So anyways, yeah. Yeah, no worries. I appreciate you being on there, but thank you for being a good supporter. I appreciate it. My channel's growing. I have 38 subscribers just since December 1st. So more than one a day. Most days 2 or 3. Some days none, but it averages, a couple a day, really. And what's today, the 28th? Well, I'm 10 over, I guess, so for one a day. But it's all good. Yeah, it is awesome. I'm happy. I originally wasn't doing this for monetization. I was doing it for something to do because I was bored. And yeah, but now I'm going for that. So Going to try to streamline the channel more into thrifting. I haven't started that yet. I was trying to get through Vlogmas and I ran out of Christmas ideas. So I'm getting ready in January. I'm going to turn the Vlogmas, which I was going to end at Christmas, but I'm running the 31 days of December. And then I'm going to morph that into a 75-day challenge. So I'll have to basically do, 44 more days, or whatever. I'll go longer. But I really feel like trying to do daily content, even if it's shorts, will help me in the long run. So, yeah, it's a goal. Yeah, right. So, anyways, well, you take care out there. I will check into yours. As soon as I end my live here, I'm going to vacuum and dust. Hopefully, we have a showing this afternoon. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Keep looking at my iPad, and I should be looking up there. Sorry. So, anyways, all righty. I'll take care. I have a couple kind of regulars now that usually check in, and I know Jimmy was going to check in with me at 10, so I probably threw him off by getting on early. So, anyways, I see a couple here. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. I need those too, so it's all good. Slow but sure, right? I'll just sit here and drink tea. I actually think I go let the dogs out real quick and come back. So I'll put a little message that I'll be right back. They like to play in the snow. Come on, guys. Come on. Wanna go outside? Play? Come on. Let's go outside. Come on. Outside. Oh, stop. Hey, Diane. Anyway, let me look here. Come on. Stop. Out, buddy. Go out with Sissy. Come on. Anyways, let them get some sunshine. We were cloudy all day yesterday, so. Snowplow went up a little bit ago and it was only 4 inches of snow. I think that it'll be melted by tomorrow. Right, no, leave the cat alone. There's a couple on here, but I think my iPad is one. So, because I'm logged in, so I can type on it. I guess I could always go back to 10 o'clock. Keep me running. Thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, I got to get into the thrift stuff. If you're still on there, I'm planning that. I had a booth and I pulled everything in Grand Junction, and I'm trying to get. I'm on a list that I was told I could probably get a list or a booth. I mean, by the end of December. I've got all my stuff in totes. So instead of taking it all out and doing some things on some of it, I've been actually adding some stuff from the house um, that I just don't need anymore. And but right now I'm just gonna. I have like 40 pictures to put on eBay. I have like 30. I'm down to 38 items, and I have 40 more ready to go. I got to get those done. I might try to do that this afternoon, or at least half of them today, and then get all my stuff on YouTube. I mean, on eBay that was in my booth, and see what I can sell online before instead of taking up booth space. Because I'm gonna start at the new place with like a bookshelf and a table underneath it. So most of my stuff is vintage kitchen decor stuff, 40s, 40s, 50s, mostly with some 30s. Um, but got a sore throat today. That's why I'm drinking tea with honey. Um, but yeah. Anyways, I'm just rambling. Oh, hi. I see somebody on here. Please introduce yourself. Say hi. I bumped up the live by an hour. So sorry about that. But let me know you're here and put where you're from. Got one more dog to let out, the old one. You want to go outside, Brooke? Come on. You want to go outside, go potty? Come on. Good girl. Good girl, Brooke. Come on. Play, guys. She wants out. Let her out. Come on. Come on, honey. You know it's cold out there. Go play. Go get your balls. Get your balls. Go get your ball, Ray. Let Sissy out. If you're on here, I was going to do this in my vintage trailer, but it's 11 degrees. So I would have had to have started the heater out there. And I have a fire going here. So much warmer. We rarely use our furnace. We have a really efficient wood stove behind me there. You can, right there, pointing the wrong way. It's what is it called? The earth stove. It's a good one. And so this whole level of the house is one level. What used to be the garage and is now my husband's man cave. It steps down, but we have furnace vents down there. But he just uses. We actually bought this house and put in a pellet stove down there. He didn't like it, so we took it out. And he has a little electric heater if it gets real cold, but we have a fan up here that blows the heat that way. And at night we just throw a log on and stoke up the fire and turn down the dampener and got up. I woke up at 3:10 because I knew it was snowing, and I'm kind of like a kid in a candy store when it's snowing. So I did try to go back to bed and lay down, but 10 to 4 I got up and made coffee. But anyways, yeah, it was like the log was still burning from the night before. So anyways, hello. If you're here, introduce yourself. I see a few. Let me know you're here, and where you're from. I'm reading comments on my iPad, so I keep looking down. Apologize. I need to focus on my iPhone. So I probably should move that tone. Okay. Let me know you can hear me okay. I already had one guy on here that said he could hear me, so I'm assuming my mic is working. Probably shouldn't have moved up the time. I originally had this scheduled last night. Yeah, I did the thing last night. I think I shared it this morning though, but I set up the live last night, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and then I bumped it up an hour. So, because I found out when I got up this morning, we have a showing on our house later after 2 p.m. So, gotta clean my house. It's not too bad because I did clean it prior to Christmas, and we did have a little bit of company here, little open house type thing, uh, Christmas Eve. Anyways, should have stuck to my original plan. Oh well, I'm just trying to post every day. So, what could I talk about? Okay, I know what I could talk about because it's actually going to be one of my videos coming up. Um, so I have some new YouTube friends that uh, that are widowed and divorced. Two new ones that I've gotten this month from new subscribers. Um, and I did a video prior to Christmas about what the alone do at Christmas, and got some good response on that one. And that's a huge topic, and I try not to think, and it was something I meant to say in that video, so I'm going to say it on this live in case my friend that, well, both of those friends that I mentioned in that other video at the end, is that for me, I'm not I'm not a person that likes, I call it chaos, but I don't like a lot going on around me. And I actually put that in the description of this live. But that I cherish alone time. I'm a solo camper. Now I'm in a huge, I'm in Sisters on the Fly. There was 20,000 of us women in the United States, Canada, Mexico, and even abroad, all over Europe that are in this organization. We kind of get into smaller groups from that. I'm in the West. In fact, I'm the ambassador for the state of Colorado. That's how involved I am with the organization. And then we have a subgroup for western side of Colorado, which is 18 of us. We include two ladies from Moab. We're going to have a third one. A gal just moved there from Salt Lake. And we include them because they're closer to Grand Junction than they are to Salt Lake City. And we all do we do Zion National Park and Bryce. We do Moab, of course. We do all the stuff on the western side of Colorado, the Ouray Hot Springs, Glenwood Springs, Hot Spring, Iron Mountain. We have a core group. I'm 11 miles from a reservoir. All of us kayak, so that's real popular. But I'm in some big groups, but I still like to get in my little vintage trailer and head to, say, Arizona and take 3 nights or so getting there, and then solo camping by myself with just me and the dog. No husband, no kids. I didn't have kids, but we do have grandkids, and I've taken them on a couple trips. But I like, and even when I go to Idaho and visit my brother with my 3 grown nieces, and then my 3 grandnieces that are like 12, well, she's going to be 12 next month, 10 and 5, almost 5. And like they want to stay with me. I'll do that for a night with all of them, and then it's like, okay, I'm up here, I'm camping, I'm set up over here. You guys come visit me during the day. We'll play in the playground. I usually will get hook up, especially if I'm camping in the winter. So I welcome. Introduce yourself if you're on here. And I just like my solo time. So for me, solo, to be alone doesn't mean lonely. To be solo gives me my solitude. And that's the word I love to use instead of alone, is solitude. Because to me, I've chosen to do it alone. I'm very capable. I've been camping all my life. I've towed, when I was 16, had show horses, and my dad said, "Fine, you're driving now. You're going to hook up the horse trailer. I was using his truck back then because I had a Volkswagen Bug. So, but I'll go with you for a while, but you're going to start taking your own self to these horse shows." And I mean, I was backing up horse trailers at 16, and I'm a really good backer upper. And I always camped. So from the time I was 18 and in a Jeep club in California with my own um, brand new CJ7 that I bought, I was towing a tent trailer, and then I morphed to a little bit bigger, not a vintage because it would have been in the 80s, um, early 80s. I had a little, what was it called? Road Ranger by Kit. It was like 16 feet. But then I morphed into a motorhome towing my Jeep. And then I got really big into the toy haulers, towing with a 110 Dodge flatbed truck. Yeah, I've towed all kinds of stuff. But I enjoy, as much as I'm in all these groups, and maybe it's because I'm getting older, I prefer my solitude a lot. I mean, I would camp every weekend. I'd camp every day if I could. I'm to the point. So in my late 20s, I lived in my Class C motorhome that I had, that I towed my Jeep with for 3 years. My dad and I built the house for me. My dad was a general contractor. I didn't want a house payment. I was in California. I ended up having to get a loan to finish the house, but I had a really good job. I was in real estate. So I built a house mostly out of my pocket until we got to the final stuff. And then I did have a loan on it. But I lived in my Class C motorhome on the 2.5 acre property the whole time till I moved into the house. So I full time there, and I still would unhook it on the weekends and take it camping. It was still my camping vehicle from my Jeep Club days, and had gotten out of doing horse shows and was doing endurance rides, so I still had trips to pull the horse trailer. I still use the RV for all that. But in my 30s and my first husband, I lived 8 years in a fifth. Well, first a Class C, that one. Then I bought a new one. Then I met him, and we lived in a Class C, and we lived in all over Colorado, all over Idaho, and all over Arizona. And I ended up in Arizona, got my real estate license there after having both California and Colorado by that point. And yeah, but I love the full-time thing. I would do it again. We have too much stuff, but I could still do it. I could get rid of everything. To me, stuff is just, it holds you back. It's just stuff. When my mom passed away 2 years ago and I had to go through her house, and she had collected all this stuff after my dad died 20 years before. And she wasn't a hoarder because it was neat. It all had a spot, but like her kitchen counter was just full of stuff. And that's never how she was when my dad was. My dad was very minimalistic, really, when I thought about it after the fact. Um, and I'm that way. Like, even though my vintage has a lot of stuff, I do trailer rallies. So I carry the stuff, but the stuff I carry in my vintage, I use. It's not just a prop. I mean, I use the old ice chest. I put food in it. It's not like my Yeti that can go days with the same ice in it, but I use the stuff, and then they're also props. And my water jugs, I'm now going back to all the metal water jugs. I'm not carrying plastic anything, trying to get away from plastic in my life, um, and as much as possible. I mean, you can't totally get away with it, but if it holds my food or my water, it's going to be metal, aluminum, or whatever, but hopefully metal. Um, so glass for my food. I don't use Tupperware. I use glass jars, or I got the Pyrex bowls with glass. And then what I do is I put a piece of foil under the lid, because the lids are rubber or silicone, but I still don't like all that stuff. So anyways, trying to clean up my act. in my 60s now. I've never liked bottled water in plastic. I do buy it when we're traveling because if I can't get water from my dog, I will give her water and I will fill up my water bottle while we're traveling in the winter. I don't buy it the rest of the time. But I actually have metal water jugs for my dog now that from now on when I leave, I'm going to fill them all up in the house. We're on well water. We have really good water. And use those and then refill them on the way. So, anyways, well, again, this is a small live, and I threw it in there last night, and then I bumped it up. So, my bad. Um, but it's almost been 30 minutes, so I'll see if anybody else comes on here. Hey, you're still here. I thought you left. Um, and here I've been rambling. I figured I'd talk about something while I'm waiting for people. So, but oh, cool. Yeah, I started talking about something. It's something I wanted to reiterate on my being alone but not lonely at Christmas. And I forgot to mention it, but it's the word solitude, and I absolutely love it because I crave solitude. So, are you getting any weather there, John, where you're at, or are your storms over? You guys were getting hit with stuff. Um, yeah, yeah, I know. I do. I'm my own best friend. I mean, I have really good friends, long time friends, but I am I am so good with, especially on trips. I am part of a big group that's going to do the Route 66 for the 100th anniversary, and we're planning it from May to September. So when most of us can go, we all have vintage trailers or vintage RVs, some vintage motorhomes, um, and mostly trailers though. But because it's a vintage trailer group that I'm in. But anyways, yeah, I'm looking forward to it so much, but dreading it. And the only reason I'm doing it with the group is that we're going to stop at everything, and we're going to take 3 weeks to do it. So, and that's why we haven't nailed down the time frame yet. But it's totally my big trip of the year next year. I'm forgoing even going to Alaska next summer just so I can know I can plan this trip. I may go to Alaska in the fall, but yeah, every few years I try to go up there too. So we did have some property up there, but we don't have it anymore, but we still are involved with that property. So um, it's kind of a fishing thing. So, anyways, but yeah, yeah, that should be fun. I'm looking forward to Route 66. So I'm one of the planners now too. They had 5 people and they didn't want more. Well, 2 dropped out for planning it. They're still gonna go. So they invited me a couple nights ago. So we're not doing anything till January, but we got to start having Zoom calls once a week and get the dates nailed down. And I've only done Route 66 from the West Coast to the East Coast, and I've never started in Chicago. Never wanted to. I just never wanted to pull my RV, whatever I had, down Main Street in Chicago to get on the actual start. But I grew up in California, so Santa Monica all the way through Missouri, I've done all that backwards. I call it backwards because Route 66 was designed during the Depression to leave back east and head out west, where the jobs at the time were the fruit jobs, the picking jobs. It was a lot of agriculture, and everything back east was dealing with the Dust Bowl in Oklahoma and crops dying. The drought was an 8-year drought that led to the Dust Bowl. But anyways, the whole core of Route 66 starting in 1926 was a mass exodus from the people from the east coming out west. So that's the way I'm going to do it. And we're going to stop at every little dive, every little roadside attraction, which I've never done that. I've done like a couple states at a time and then hit all those. So, anyways, to do it all in 3 weeks from the east to the west is going to be fun. So, anyways, I see a couple more on here. Yeah, that's a cool one to do with your family. It really is. I'm hoping it's going to be a really popular series, and I have a pretty good sized channel before I even attempt this, so that it gets some views. But yeah, I mean, we're going to stop at every little hole in the wall thing, every giant. There's all these giant statues on my clocks right on time. Uh, all along the route. So it's going to be fun. And some really cool, back then they call them, they weren't campgrounds. They were no, they were what are they called? Auto camps. You pulled in, like people would be in their 1940, well, they wouldn't be that in the 20s, but after the Dust Bowl, whatever their car was, big family, old fashioned Hudsons and old Fords that held 10 people practically. And they'd pull in for the night, they'd pitch a tent. Some of the people would sleep in the car. They'd get up in the morning, pack up the tent, throw it on the roof, and everybody pile back in the car and continue out west. The Grapes of Wrath. If you've never read that, that is so, I mean, that's to me the epitome of 66 and the whole mindset. And I have read it so many times. I read it in high school. It's still one of my favorite books. And I think I'm going to do an audiobook version of it starting like in about March to get me all in that. Yeah. Travel that route one day. Yeah. Yeah. I know it's a great book, there's other ones. But that to me, when I was in high school and read that, it was like, yeah, I think junior English, I think it was mandatory, one of the books we read. It was about, the history of, basically, it is a good book that depicts the history of the United States at that time frame. But yeah, so I got to download an audiobook of that. I have it, but I'm not going to read the actual book, I don't think, again. I'm better having audiobooks, especially when I'm doing Instacart. I put those on and, stopping and starting it all the time. But something like that book, I've read it probably at least 5 times, probably more, since high school. And the last time was about 5 years ago. So I definitely want to do that again. The audiobooks are cool. Yeah, I bet you do. I think, yeah, any traveling I do, I put one on. So that's actually, if I get to go to Arizona, I got to get a new tow vehicle. And haven't really been looking. I just keep thinking the house will sell and I can get my brand new Ford Super Duty F-250. Uh, but in the meantime, I got to get an interim one because the car that I did partial trade on my truck for, he needed me to take his Chevy Equinox. It's a 4-cylinder and it's gutless and it doesn't have a hitch and it wouldn't even pull my little trailer. So it's not going to be going to Arizona. It actually is a pretty good car for gas mileage. It gets 32 miles a gallon. I'd love to keep it, but right now I'm looking to just trade it. I'm waiting for the title to come in the mail. So since it's been streaming so much, yeah. Yeah, really. Yeah, you do need to get some days to yourself. You work too much. I haven't Instacarted since not this week. Monday and Tuesday, I was going to do it Wednesday before Christmas. So I guess Christmas Eve. And I went down and the app was all messed up. I did one order. I took a $63 order. The app was so messed up. And I was in Sam's and they didn't have 3 of the items. By the time I delivered it, it was a $42 order, I guess. It still was good, And then I shut the app down because it was glitching. I could barely get the delivery address. So I don't like days like that. I think too many people might have been on it. So I don't know, but I'll get back to it. I might do some tomorrow, actually. I've never recorded me doing it, though. I've done little clips of me pushing the cart out of the store, but I've never taken the camera in the store and recorded it. I see people doing it, and I follow, and like you do in the DoorDash. That way, you don't really take it in, though. And I like that, so maybe I could just do the delivery part. I don't know, but we'll see. But I've just never really incorporated the Instacart into my YouTube. So I see other people on here, but I don't see that anybody's introduced themselves. If you did, I missed you. I gotta go let the dog in. She's driving. She's barking. Come on, Lobo. Come on, Brooke. Shh, don't bark. Lobo, come. Come on, buddy. No chasing the cat. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on, Brooke. Come on, Brooke. Brookie. Come on, girl. Too cold out there for you. Come on. Come on, honey. Come on. Good girl. Anyways, I'm back. Yeah, I'm sure it does help you too. You're really, I mean, that one day I think it was like 8 hours I saw you on there. And I mean, I was on in the morning. I don't think I commented. Then I saw you still on middle of the day, and I was actually getting ready to do a live. Then I got on, and you'd been on like 8 hours. I could never do that. I do 30, 45 minutes of these lives, and I've done my longest one was an hour and a half. And that was actually a good one. People kept coming on, and I got to quit changing the time on them. I need to set a schedule and do that. But, you know, I know I'm my own worst enemy with stuff on YouTube, but I'm still having fun and I laugh about it. But, and like I said, I'm growing slow, you know, I guess I'm right in there. I'm a year in, a little over a year now, year and a month. I didn't start posting till November 9th of last year. And anyways, yeah, you got to have fun with it. I don't mind the work either. You know, I retired from real estate, didn't want to do that anymore. And then I was bored. I don't babysit every day. And then when I do, it's down in Grand Junction. And from us to the kids, it's about an hour and 20 minutes to their house. So my husband goes, "You're spending all this in my truck." I mean, it was EcoBoost. I got 22 miles a gallon if I keep my foot out of it, which I really did. But yeah, but I liked it. You know, I mean, I didn't mind, doing the babysitting. It's just this way I go and I do my stuff in the morning, get all my stuff except my perishables. But I Instacart and do and like if I'm in Target and I have stuff for Target, I pull my stuff too, as long as it's not perishable. And then I deliver. Then I usually go to Sam's, Sprouts, Natural Grocers. I'm kind of giving up on the markets. I don't like, I'd rather do an $11 order for 20 bucks than a 57 item order for like 30, the math, and then with Instacart, it's supposed to be a 3-mile radius, except if it's like Sam's, there's only one in Grand Junction. So I could have a 30-mile from Sam's to where I'm delivering him back. But I work my way east because I live to the east of Grand Junction. And what I usually do, we'll hit City Market, our Kroger store. In the afternoon, to get my perishables, I turn on the app and I take an order for either Palisade, which is my direction, or My Town, which I do get. Some of my friends know I get on in the afternoon and deliver on my way home. There's 3 towns on the way home, so I'll take one of those towns. So, but anyways, yeah. But I enjoy it. I get my steps in every day. And so it's my exercise. I'm working out my arms, and I just think it helps, enough to. I'm not sitting, other than the part in the car, but it's fun. You know, I run into people. I did real estate. You're Instacarting? Yeah, something to do. Social Security sucks. I mean, a lot of my years as a realtor, you don't pay in because I was out on my own. Now, when I had employers with big real estate brokerages, some of them paid in, but I mean, I did decent money. I worked for a couple big builders that I was actually salary plus commission on the sales. So, I mean, I've paid in good, but um, um, I just supplement. I'm used to more money, so, and that's why I got to get eBay going better. My resale on my booth get set back up. Do this, and yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But, well, I was hoping I'd get more on. Says I have 3 watching, but I sure don't see the third one. I think one of the three is my iPad, because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah, I know. Social Security's not going to be there for you. You gotta, I don't know. I mean, it's scary at where it is. I barely felt like I was going to make it. I have a brother that's 4 years older than me, and it changed between me and him. And he kept saying, "You're not even going to get it." And I paid in my whole life. I started working full time. I got out of high school a year early. I took the GED. My parents said if I could pass it, I could get out of school. I was already taking night classes, but then I got out the end of my junior year. I had to go to Christmas for what was it? No, not government. Yeah, government. I had one class that I had to take. But anyways, I never went back after the Christmas break. But I was working full time because I'd go in the morning for that one class to high school, and then I worked at a hospital in the food. I was going to become a dietitian because that a friend of mine got me that job, a friend of my parents, and so I was going to college and taking those classes, and then I got bored with that and switched to anthropology and archaeology, like I was going to be Indiana Jones. so, but after I graduated, I did put in for a job in Peru, and then I ended up meeting a guy that I ended up marrying, uh, and didn't go. But yeah, it's all good. So, but yeah, Social Security is scary, and you can't live on it. I don't, that's why we're selling this house. We're going to buy the next one cash because we have a small loan on this, considering what the house is worth. But the next one will be cash, and the vehicles will be cash. And yeah, we're each going to buy one more new vehicle. Or in my husband's case, he doesn't like the brand new Toyota Tacomas. He likes 24 and older, so he'll be buying one a little older. He had a 21, and then I had my 2020 Ford, and both of them were getting up their mileage. So we're both driving used vehicles right now. He's got a used 4Runner, and I've got this car I traded my truck partially for. Um, but we'll have cars that hopefully will be our cars for the rest. I need a big truck. I've got a kayak. I carry an e-bike. I carry all my cast iron cooking stuff. When I go for long trips, I need the back of the truck, and I need a back seat where my bike fits across the back. My kayak goes in the back. I truly, when I do Route 66, I'll at least have my e-bike. I probably won't have the kayak, but I'd like to take it. Because I may leave there, or I may go early and go visit my niece in Wisconsin first, and I'll want my kayak. But I could always leave it at her house and go back for it. Do a lot of driving. So, anyways, yeah. Well, and that's happening too. Like we just got a cola cost of living, except um, that went up, but the fees, what they take out, you really don't mind. I think mine will go up $27. Like, like that's nothing. But you really can't make a living anymore in this country easily. And I'm not wealthy. I've done hard work my whole life and socked some away, but I also don't want to go through that. That is my retirement in case something happens. And I can't do Instacart or eBay or YouTube eventually. I got to have, something. So, um, yeah. And I'm waiting to get on Medicare. You can't do that right away when you go on Social Security. So there's that. We do have insurance. We don't have it really good, but we have primary care, and then we have like a MediShare deal for major. And I'm skimming close enough where I can probably wait for any major surgeries until I get on Medicare. But my husband's a year and a half younger than me, and so he's got more health issues. He's got bad knees, bad hips, and at least one bad rotator cuff. So, yeah. Anyways, you got a lot of years to worry about that, uh, but anyways, well, John, I think I'll end this because I know you probably want to get to work, and it's been 45 minutes. Um, I may try to get on later and do another live. We'll see. Like I said, I enjoy them. Or I might go out and play in the snow with the dogs after I vacuum and dust and record that. So my main thing right now is just that something goes on the channel every single day. So this can be it for today, and I'll work on something for tomorrow. Trying to just get through January. I've got a couple ideas leading up to New Year's, but I don't want to post those yet. So yeah. Um, anyways, but you take care out there, and I'll try to get on yours here. But I am going to jump off and vacuum and dust just in case we have this showing after too. I'm hopeful, ready to sell this place. It's too much work. Too much work on the outside. Obviously, in the winter we don't have to do too much, but it's a lot in the spring, summer, and fall even. So, anyways, I appreciate you being on here and listening to me yak. And I guess I'll just turn this into a video about stuff. Stuff I talked about. So, anyways, all right. Well, I'm going to say bye for now. Thank you for joining me. And I'll get this posted. Maybe I'll get some views. And yeah, go from there. Happy, what is today? December 28th? Yeah. Yeah. Right. 28th. Sunday, the 28th. So, yeah. Have a good day. And I'll see you on your live. How's that? So, bye for now.